you see on anything promotional, anything that someone is trying to convince someone else to buy into. The words that they use on those marketing promotional bits is what copywriting is.
Make real. Listen real.
Welcome to the Millennials Corner, where most of us are lost in a trance. To all the millennials and everybody joining us for yet another insight-packed and digital skills focused session of the Millennials Corner, where most of us are lost in a trance. So speaking of digital skills, if you remember on the other session, we were joined by Msizi, who unpacked a little bit about UX writing and what the focus of that is. And the focus of UX writing, well, obviously is writing for the app and the web. Vandaag, we are going to talk about something different, which is persuasive writing, copywriting. But because I'm not an expert in that field, we have invited a very beautiful mother, a fitness enthusiast, and Na's gonna tell us a little bit about what this is. So please help me welcome the beautiful and motivated and inspirational Zaza. What do you do, baby?
What's up?
I'm awesome. Finally, you joined us on TMC. It's been forever.
It has my bad guys.
How are you doing though?
I'm good. My tooth is working now.
Okay, fine.
We can talk now. I'm good.
I think it would be better if we start off by you introducing yourself to our people, and then we'll take it from there.
Cool. Dumelang everyone. I am Zaza. I'm a mother. I'm a fitness enthusiast. I put words together sometimes. They pay me for it sometimes. I'm a thinker. I'm a reader. I'm excited, and I like to think of myself as a creative.
Feel the fear and use it to push you harder. Your goals don't care about your excuses.
Now let's get into it. I want you, Zaza, to tell us what really copywriters do,
That's so funny because when I started copywriting, I had no clue what copywriting is. And I think that's so true for a lot of the people who get into the industry. I think what I've learned is that people sort of find themselves doing copywriting unawares.
Yeah.
Copywriting is any writing, any words you see on anything promotional, anything that someone is trying to convince someone else to buy into. The words that they use on those marketing promotional bits is what copywriting is.
So just the way I understand it from what Zaza just said, copywriting is actually persuasive writing. Yeah. The act of trying to make somebody buy into something.
Copywriting is propaganda. Yeah.
I think I believe.
Yeah, copywriting is propaganda. It's dressed up propaganda.
I mean, like, we are selling anyway. We're trying to get people to buy these stuff. So
yeah.
There's no way that it won't be propaganda.
Exactly.
Same as politics.
Exactly.
Let's talk about a little bit of what you have personally learned since you got into the space of copywriting. Yeah.
So how I got into writing in the first place, this is so funny because before I started copywriting, I was doing online teaching. And how I even got into that, when I was in school, when I was in high school, I used to have the biggest clash with my English teacher, and I used to have a lot of pushback from her because this essay is too inappropriate. This essay is too. Can you tone it down? This is not. I can't. Please. So I figured then I've always had a very good relationship with words. Fast forward, through varsity, through all the different jobs that I've had. When I was doing online teaching, and I used to work at night. So when I say at night, I mean I used to leave home at 10 p.m. to go and start work at 11 p.m., right? And so it's very difficult to...
That was when you were doing online teaching?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So it's very difficult for you to to keep yourself up. There's only so much coffee and Play and Monster can do for you, right? In my mind, I've been flirting with the idea of, I need to start a blog. I need to start a blog. I need to start a blog. I need to get into writing. I need to do this. How am I going to do it? So one day, I was at work, and one of the students canceled the class. So I had an hour, and I said, it's happening now. I'm going to write now. I'm going to create it now, and I'm going to post it now. And in 30 minutes, I typed my first complete piece, beginning to end, and I posted it. And I sent the link to everyone. I sent the link to Amo. I sent the link to everyone who was sitting around me. And I said, guys, this is it. Don't ask me any questions. Read it if you like it. Share it to your people. And that's exactly what happened. And I found myself week after week writing and posting. When I don't post, people ask me what's going on, and that's how I started writing, or that's where my love for using words was solidified. How I got into copywriting. So when I was in high school, so I did a lot of acting. So there's a friend of mine, she was at Umuzi, which is a great organization, and she said to me, just try yourself out, right? Just try yourself out. Apply. You've got nothing to lose. And I did, and I applied using my blog, and I was in, right? I was in, not first time around, right? Took me 2 tries to get in, right? Which for me is fine. It's part of the process.
What happened the first time?
So the first time, that was honestly more an administration thing. I got everything done. I went through the boot camp. I learned what I did in the boot camp, and it was really just an administration thing. Every time I got called to come in, I was either knocked out, because also I take a lot of medication. So I was either knocked out and I'm not getting the calls, or I'm in a fitness session and I can't respond to an email immediately. And what I've learned in this industry is that you need to be ready. You need to be on, and if you're not ready, if you're not on, then they are going to move on to the next person, and because I would like to think it's because I'm that good at what I do. They called me and they said, we need you to come back, girl. And I said, I said, oh, no, that wasn't me. But I said, yes. I'm coming. And what the funny thing about that is, and I don't know how other creatives do it, right? But there's always a lot of sacrifice that you have to do in order for you to get an opportunity to show someone your craft. So we had planned, and this was all, pre-COVID, we had planned a family holiday, right? Tickets were bought, right? We're flying to Durban, right? Downtime, beach time, swimming time, and I get a call, and a couple of days before we're supposed to leave. So the starting day and our flight were booked on the same day. So then it's like, okay, now I have to decide what I want to do. Do I want to go and beach bum, or do I want to launch my writing career? And so now it's another really weird conversation, because also Black parents don't understand what being a creative means. They don't get it, right? For as long as not waking up at 6 to be in an office at 8 or watch at 5, they don't understand what your job is. And so I have to sit my parents down, and I'm very, very nervous, right? I'm very, very nervous. Also, just sidebar, the reason why I was so afraid was because I was always presented at home as an academic, right? I mean, I have a degree from Wits in psychology. I have a qualification in teaching. So I've always been the academic person, right? And so for me to then say I'm going to dedicate a lot of my time, all of my time really, into writing, so the creative part of me, it's a very scary conversation to have. But I sit them down and I say to them, okay, I'm not going to come on the holiday. I'm sorry that we're losing this money, but they've called me. And for me, it's nothing is solid. This is just a chance for me to prove myself. I was on the road and I'm calling the airline, and I say to them, hi, something's come up. I can't make the flight. Can we have like a refund? And they say, no, sorry, we can't. When is your flight? It's tomorrow. Like, no, we can't do anything. And I mean, I feel bad because we've lost a lot of money, but in the same breath, for me, if I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to give that, even if it's just for an opportunity. And and then we get into it. We get started, and now it's a sort of crash course on what it means to be a copywriter and what it means to be a copywriter in the industry. Sorry, I've spent 10 minutes not answering your question. I'm sorry.
But it's so beautiful, like listening to your story. You know, what you're saying, I am picking up that being a perpetual learner is very necessary, you know, for everybody to make it in this space, you know, especially of being a copywriter, because you need to be aware of what's happening out there. And also your vocab needs to always keep on improving, you know, because you're dealing with people, with different people from different industries.
Thank you for that. I think the biggest thing is the biggest thing that I've learned, I suspect that was your question, like what did I learn from copywriting? I think what I've learned, and I think this goes over and above just copywriting in general, is that the more you learn, the more you realize how little you actually know. And it takes someone who wants to be good at what they do, who wants to be better than good, who wants to be, you know, better than the piece they wrote the day before, someone who's continually wanting to improve and produce better content pieces, posts, better captions, better one-liners, better words. If you want to string words together in a way that's elevated, you need to realize that you know very little.
Take that first step. Just start. Being active isn't about what your body could look like. It's about the commitment you make every day. The decision to choose you.
I've only been in the industry for about 5 months, officially, for about 5 months. But what you learn there is not something you can learn from anywhere. You have to be right in the middle of it for you to really get it.
Speaking of actually doing in order to learn, right? I think now I want us to talk about the process, because everybody has got their own different processes, you know, on how they do. Well, for now, I can write one line for like 2 hours because I want to perfect it and to make sure it makes sense and everybody will receive it exactly the way I'm trying to say it. So you are in an industry now. You say you are 5 months in and the pressure must have been kind of like hectic, you know, but it might also have been different because you managed to write one blog in 30 minutes. I think that's really crazy. How is your process of creating or crafting this copy?
This is, I don't know how to say this, how ironic, but but my process of creating, and I don't know if, I'm not sure if this is true for all the creatives. I strongly suspect that it is. But when I'm happy, I'm useless. When I feel good, when I feel happy, I can write the word "the" for the whole month. Because
does this mean I'm a happy person?
I don't know. I don't think it's the healthiest place to be, but it's not wrong or it's not right. It just is the way it is. That's just the way my system has organized itself to create, to write.
Yeah.
How this differs from industry. So it's funny because you don't even have to be a great writer to do the kind of writing that you do. You have to be very tuned into what's going on. So you have to know what's happening and you have to find a way of interpreting that. If you're given a brief, for example, there'll be a writer on the brief, there'll be a designer on the brief, and the common ground that all of us are on is, do we understand what we're trying to say? Do we understand the insight? Do we understand why this thing can work? Whether it's coming from a copywriting point of view or it's coming from a design point of view. The design part is the visuals, right? What people are going to see. The copy is what people are going to read, right? So even if it's one piece, you're reaching out to different kinds of people. You know, you're reaching out to people who are first going to, like when I see something, I read the words first, naturally, because I'm more inclined to doing that. But if you're a designer, the first thing you're going to do is look at the visuals. But the message has to be the same thing. You have to take away the same thing. you can have as many pretty words as you want. If they're not saying anything to anyone, then they're completely useless.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's a thing where you have to learn that very quickly, and you can't be personal about it, because if you're always putting your personal self into creating work that is not for you or work that you feel is important,
Yeah.
then you're gonna struggle, because now there's a clash between your person and what people are requiring of you.
I think that's what they say, you shouldn't marry your ideas, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. You know, Patamedi, Veli Lukodisho, right? Those were our leaders in this, right? Those are the people who molded us. They used to say this to us very many times. If an idea works in your head, that's fine. But if the idea doesn't work, the moment it leaves your mouth, and people are, you've already lost. Irrespective of whether it's a brilliant idea or brilliant insight or not, you know, if there's a disconnect with what you're trying to say and how people are receiving it, it's already not going to work. And unfortunately, because industry is driven by numbers, industry is driven by money, if your idea doesn't work, it doesn't matter if you spend 3-4 days putting up this beautiful presentation. If you have a PowerPoint that's 4-5 brilliant slides long and they already cancel the idea at slide 2, everything else becomes irrelevant.
Yeah, it's flat.
You know, everything else becomes irrelevant. And I think even that is a very difficult space to be in, because, and I don't want to be political. I don't want to be spicy. I don't want to be political. But it's also a very tricky part to be in, because industry needs creatives that look like me and you. They need black creatives, right? Because right at the top of this industry, it is people who have the capital to run the industry but don't have the insight to maintain. And in every corner, in every sphere of what you're doing, we need this persuasive writing. We need people to persuade us to buy into an idea, you know.
I really like what you're saying, that the people who've got the capital are up there, you know, and then the industry needs people like us, you know, black young creatives, because we are the creators of culture, you know, and people buy into culture. Like, there's something that TJ usually say, communities.
Shout out TJ.
Shout out TJ. They say for communities and people own culture, whereas brands own experience. You mentioned that you work with designers and as a copywriter.
Yeah.
Being a creative is not like doing a 9-to-5 job where you're going to go to the office and be in your own office and do whatever that you gotta do without paying attention into what everybody else that contributes to that project does, you know. So as a copywriter, how important do you think it is for you to understand what a designer does, or how a designer gets through their work?
As a writer, it's very important for me to know what a designer does, because if I'm coming up with a concept or I'm coming up with an idea, if my words can't be translated visually, then there's already going to be a disconnect. So the end piece won't have the same impact, you know. So even when we're coming up with the human truths, there we go, the human truths, or the thing that people are doing that that people want to pick out of, right, and magnify, because that's really where the crux, that's why these campaigns work, because they take something really, I'm going to say small, because a lot of the time these things are automated, because again, culture, right? It's like everyone blinks, right? And everyone blinks and it's an automatic. You don't think about blinking. But the moment someone takes that very small action and magnifies it, right, it becomes such an aha moment, because we do this thing automatically, but there's so much more to it that we maybe weren't aware of, that maybe weren't, you know, sort of thinking about, and to understand the design thing first, or to understand the process, the official process of creating a piece, and knowing which parts are important, I think allows the different members, the different roles to collaborate, even if we're not, you know, sort of speaking. I am thinking about the designer, you know, the designer's coming up with a concept and he or she's thinking about me. Oh, okay, I hope, you know, this visual, I hope she'll be able to to put it in words. Do you get what I mean? Or to match it at least with something that, that ties the whole thing together.
Yo guys, yeah man, we're still chilling with Zaza, and I hope you are taking a lot from this session, especially if you want to become a copywriter and write some pieces selling or they'll persuade people into buying. It's not easy. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of sleepless nights trying to set yourself up for success, in this space. So yeah, man, always come back to this session and listen to Zaza inspire you to become the copywriter that you see yourself tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? So now let's just get a little bit more personal with Zaza just before we close it off. I would like to really understand what inspires you on a personal level. Like what makes you want to wake up every day and just be like, you know what, I'm here, I just want to fuck shit up and do the best I can for a copywriter.
Anyways, not your decision to make. I've already spoken to Tate Mavusana.
Tate Mavusana? Mavusana. Oh, what's up, my ex? Oh, bloody hell. I can't remember things. It's not my man. Tabo. Pila botompona kisulele kise. Otompolai. Who's gonna make your bed when I'm dead? What motivates me? Honestly, I hate losing. I hate losing, and I always, when I was a lot younger, I always thought that I was in competition with my peers. The older I get, the more I realize that the real competition is with me. Because if I don't improve, it affects me directly, right? It affects my confidence. If I'm not in tune, even if I don't write anything, or even if I don't write anything that I think is good, just the drive to want to be better than the person I was before, and to make sure that the kind of things that I'm creating are relevant and have some sort of impact is what drives me. And please understand, I'm not the kind of creative that wants to, shift the narrative, or, I don't want to make that, that's not my dream. That's not my thing, And I mean, thank you for people who are working hard to do that kind of thing. For me, it is very, very personal. I need to know for myself that it's a thing that I can do, because I've had to be a grown-up for a very, very long time because of my child, and I didn't have a chance to be a child, so everything that I've done has always been for her benefit. And honestly, it's only in the last few years I've been able to genuinely do things that serve my personal purpose, and that is to prove to myself that I don't have to be I don't have to be the mother everyone knows I am. I can be a creative, I can be a writer, I can be, a fitness whatever. I can be those things without only being Kenzie's mom, which I love doing, by the way. But I got a pound.
I see. Okay, we're still here, we're late. So Zaza, we've been given some time to play a game, right? So
whose idea was this?
This is the Millennials Corner, right?
Yeah,
but it's just
I'm just saying, guys.
You show people, what to do. Yeah. So we chose the most basic exercise. Yeah, so the basic as in, how you're in the sales job, but obviously, because they always have a pen on their hand of like, here's a pen. Can you please sell this pen? So Msizi, can you please pass us a pen, dog? We need a pen. Zaza needs to sell a pen for us. Give me something. Give us something. B. Where's the pen? Or maybe you want to give us anything. Or you want a pen. Maybe you've done it multiple times. A pen.
I've never done this multiple times. I've never done this even once. Sell a pen.
I've sold a pen before,
Really?
Yeah, this is very hard to sell. Thank you, guys. This is the pen. Yo, guys, this is the pen Zaza will be selling for us, Fanda. There we go, man. We got it.
Right, this
persuasive writing. I want to see if I will buy this pen after this now. Let's see.
This is not a pen. This is not a pen. This is the key that unlocks your future. This is what's going to get you the money. This is what's going to get you the drive. This is what's going to get you the car that you want parked in your garage. So buy this pen to unlock your potential.
Okay. That was that. The beauty about how you sold this pen, Zaza, honestly.
Did I tell you guys buying it?
I bought it. I bought it. So my friend, that is the difference between copyright, proper copywriting and weak copywriting. Because I would have sold the physical attributes of this pen, how it looks, how you can hold it nicely. But what Zaza did, which I think was super brilliant, she sold the benefit, like how this pen will change your life, other than how nice this pen looks, how long this ink will go, you know. So as you go and learn to become a copywriter, give people value. That's all there is to this.
Yes.
We are still here on the Millennials Corner playing a second game of the day. Zaza did sell the pen to us, and then we bought into it. It's mine now. We're playing another one, but I get 2 truths and 1 lie. Zaza will give us 3 statements, of which 2 will be true and 1 will be lie. So it's for you guys to let us know in the comment section which one you think is a lie, and we'll reveal it on the next session.
Okay, 2 truths and a lie.
I almost said don't lie to us, but I asked you to lie. I mean,
1, I don't lie.
okay.
2, I have a son. And 3, I have been driving with an expired driver's license for 3 years.
Well, I'm so convinced that we have 3 lies. I don't lie. I have a son. I've been driving with an expired license for how long?
3 years.
For 3 years. How about Zaza?
Guys.
Okay.
When he puts it in the wrong hole and you're like,
Mrs. Matters.
looking at the bottle stores, waiting for Uncle Cyril to open it, like. So nice.
Zaz. She's a that Mrs. Matters. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you, B?
Awesome. I'm awesome. You enjoyed yourself?
I did. You guys let me talk, and that's really nice thing. So.
So yeah. Ofeta pen,
Yes.
So now we're here to play a game called What's Your Meme?
Okay.
So now you are faced with this baby.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see how you can meme this one.
Trying to get out of the car after a night of drinking, like.
Holy crap! Okay.
When he puts it in the wrong hole and you're like.
Not only are you giving us a meme, you gave us 2. You gave us 2, man. Yeah. That's the second one. Part of the nation.
Sitting in the car and watching your crush walk by, like. Looking at the bottle stores, waiting for Uncle Cyril to open it, like.
All right.
Looking, being at work and looking at the creative director's bank account, like.
Yo, man. Hold up. That happened.
I got it.
Yeah, we're still good.
Set designer also, please put that on my resume.
That
I'm also a set designer.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, so now you're taking my job.
I'm sorry.
Let's go to the next one. Let's see how you do it this way.
Opening up 0% alcohol cider, like. Watching your ex roll through with his new bite, like.
Hey.
You letting him take off his shoes in your room without wearing socks, like.
Somebody hand me over a pads, please.
Please. Seeing her wake up in the morning with her makeup off, like.
I was too drunk for this. Alright. So that's all the memes that we have for you.
Cool.
You know, it was lovely hearing from you, man. Like having you on set, it was so lovely.
It was so dope. I'm so glad I finally got this. And it's weird because from when we were in the studio, guy was saying, we need to do this, we need to do this. Every day I'm like, got you.
Final.
Got you. But then there's briefs after briefs after brief, after corona, after gray, after. And when I was finally ready, because this is just how the universe works, I've never had problems with my teeth. And then I had this massive toothache where I couldn't speak. I could not speak, which to me, if you know me, you know that speaking is my superpower. And I couldn't do it. So I'm glad I finally pulled through. I'm glad I finally got to meet him. It was dope. I'm glad I came. I'm glad I did this.
Hit us up with the social handle.
Okay.
This camera, that camera. Oh, wait. Even selfie. We can even go on a selfie mode
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so on socials, very easy to find at N_ELETI. So @_. It's Nyeleti minus the Y. When you get to my pages, on Twitter, I'm retweeting rubbish. On Instagram, though, that's where my second love is, which is fitness, anything wellness related. You're gonna catch it on there.
By the way,
Yes.
saying how you ojime too much, dog.
Guys.
Hi,
Hi, guys. Call me, Kitalichimisa.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. We'll definitely do it. It was lovely. It was nice.
It was so nice, B. Thank you for having me on set, guys.
I think I have one last
One last one.
one.
Okay, shoot.
In one sentence, please wrap up the show for us.
In one sentence, please wrap up the show for us.
Yes.
Like a link.
Like a link. Like a link. Like a link.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's session of the Millennials Corner. I hope you know that you can be whatever it is you want to be.
Yo, Bafetu, thank you so much for chilling with us on the Millennials Corner. If you did like this video, make sure that you press that, thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe, Bafetu. They help a lot. Let your friends know that you are watching the Millennials Corner, because here is where most of us are lost in the trends. Thank you for chilling with me, Jana.
Thank you.